So you want to scale your partner program, but operationally you're not able to get it done, right? You have a couple partners, but you realize that, hey, if I recruit more partners, we aren't going to be able to properly enable them and actually support them. I don't got that many people with me, especially if you're a partnership person watching this, or if you're the CEO, right, or the head of sales who doesn't really have a designated spot for partnerships, or even the people who do have it are understaffed. You're going to realize operationally one of the biggest bottlenecks you'll face is actually catering to more partners and making sure they're able to probably be taken care of. Because one of the big key factors is that a little gem is partners are like customers. You gotta have to treat them like customers, get them to first win, can continually make them happy so they continually do what you want them to do. In the customer sense is pay you money, but in the partner sense is bring you money by bringing you more customers. So that's something we're going to look into today. Scaling your partner program, how to go from 10 partners to 100 plus without breaking everything. And that's the biggest key factor I would really emphasize in people today, that it's a lot more possible now, especially in this day and age with AI. Like everyone's got their AI around, but operationally, how you use AI in your business and how you use certain levers of data to make more informed decisions about your partner program and what kind of partners are a better fit for you and where the partners are finding success is what's going to allow you to actually double down on what's working and continually move from there. So when you go from partners, from 10 partners to 100 plus without breaking everything, most of them break at 15 to 20, right? That's just realistic because you don't have as much capacity. Not because the partners are bad, but because the systems that work for 5 partners completely fall apart at scale. So, I've watched companies go from their best month ever to complete chaos in 60 days, right? All because they try to scale without building a proper foundation. And the chaos is more so like either one, like they recruit partners, but either they bring out a customer and it doesn't fully, the customer churns immediately, so then they look bad for the customer, they lose that customer, and they don't want to work with you again, or they just don't bring you money. Right, either way, it's a loss for you. Today I'm going to show you the exact playbook for scaling partner programs, 10 partners to 100 plus without breaking everything. And you're always going to be iterating. The difference between programs that plateau and programs that drive millions in revenue. So just an example to show you what some companies, I studied this market a lot. A company that I worked with last year, they had 12 partners. Each partner was generating 50K in quarterly revenue. Everything was running smooth, right? The CEO wants to 10x it, right? Let's get us 120 partners by year end, because obviously each partner is bringing us 50K revenue. And one of the options besides like, hey, how can we make these partners make more revenue is, hey, let's bring more partners. And as simple as, oh, let's just do exactly what we did. And 6 months later, it's total chaos, right? The partners were confused about messaging. Deals were falling through the cracks. Nobody knew who was responsible for what. And revenue per partner dropped to 8K quarterly. They went from 600K quarterly partner revenue to 960K. And it sounds good, right? They should hit 6 million at that same per partner productivity. Because ideally, like a customer, you want your lifetime value versus the cost of acquisition to be the biggest gap possible. Like if it takes you $1,000 to get a customer, but their lifetime value is like 100,000, that's 99,000 in terms of actual net margin. Now, if we look at, there might be more partners in play, you're going to need more to compensate to get to that 99,000 margin if the cost of acquisition is staying the same, right? So 1 to 8K, that's 7K. So you're going to need significantly more partners, significantly more effort, and it's just going to hurt you. So they scale the partners without scaling the actual system itself. And so what I've learned from helping companies is that you don't scale by adding more partners. You scale by building systems that make each partner more productive. So let's look at the foundation, right? Typically from the 1 to 10 stage, when you're still like infant, like think of it like a company, manual processes, personal relationships, founder enablement, quarterly business reviews, right? And that's this day and age, like even like the the personal relationships. Yes, there is somewhat there. Ideally, we would like to find someone with a similar size who's just as hungry as you, and you can work together towards building into accounts. Unless you have a product that is like complete product market fit, and you can go after the big dogs who will bring you into a certain account. Because for them, like you are a hot commodity in the market. It depends on where you are in the playing field, but most realistically, right, these relationships will either make or break you. And when we look at systemization of like the documented processes for 10 to 25 is documented processes, basic automation, a dedicated partner manager, monthly check-ins. We'll find actually a lot of people from the 1 through 10 stage actually already having a partner manager already on board, or like a head of sales kind of dealing with it. But realistically, it just diverts attention, right? So having someone who's dedicated for it is a significant, is so helpful. And then monthly check-ins, of course. Um, Optimization, partner segmentation, specialization, specialized enablement, performance tracking, weekly forecasting, right? When you optimize. And then a multi-tier partner management, automated workflows, predictive analysis, self-serve resources. So most companies should go from stage 1 to stage 4, and it just never works, right? Like you think, okay, manual process, personal relationships, final enablement, and QBRs. We'll go straight to multi-peer partner management, automated workflows, predictive analytics of what's working, what's not working, self-serve resources. But realistically, you have to go step by step as you build slowly, right? You got to document the process and some basic automations. You don't want to go overkill because the name of the game is speed. If you can see what's working from the 1 to 10 and double down and just build while you move, it's going to work significantly better for you. So let's dive a little bit deeper for each, right? If you're managing 1 through 10 partners, your job is simple. Just prove the model works. Don't build the complex systems yet. Build deep relationships. And so what you need is simple partner tracking. And it's funny, like I have some people ask me, when we're looking to sign on, like, hey, like we use HubSpot, we use Salesforce, that's fine. Like, could we get rid of a Google Sheet? And like, yeah, you can. Is it the most ideal? No. But excuse me. You gotta do what you gotta do. Basic training materials, right? Clear commission structure. So if 80% of your partners are actively referring, 25K plus average quarterly revenue per quarter partner. Now, this number obviously depends on what your deal size is. Ideally, like especially in the beginning, 20% is a decent metric. If you can get more than 20%, even better, and that's without dialing in resources. 3+ month pipeline visibility, partner satisfaction score of 8+, because realistically, one of the biggest bottlenecks you'll find in bigger organizations is that a lot of partners feel lost or not as supported or don't feel like their voice actually matters. And yes, like in your sense, you're thinking, okay, well, the only person I have to care about is a customer. But realistically, right? Like if you care about the partner as well, who are also a means to an end to a customer, you got to manage that funnel of a relationship. That whole train line of relationships, you got to make sure, because if it breaks down in the middle, you can't reach that end customer that you could have possibly reached. So red flags, partners aren't referring after 90 days, inconsistent deal quality, partners competing against each other, no clear value prop for partners, right? Get them right. And once you have 10 active partners, manual management stops working, right? It's time to build your first systems. And so onboarding checklist, training completion requirements, first deal milestones, success manager assignments, and then deal registration systems like clear deal registration rules, conflict resolution process, pipeline tracking automation, commission calculation, and then enablement library, right? Like battle cards for each use case, certain objections, certain use cases with certain other softwares. Like one thing that we're really focusing on personally with the revenue protocol, TRP, is we're really trying to work with more so integration partner people who companies where this is the future, honestly, of like ecosystems and honestly software, in my opinion, is we're working heavily with people who are finding a lot of tech partners working themselves to have a lot of integrations with lots of people and bridging those ICPs, bridging those same people, those same companies that they integrate with who have the same shared customer, and working there to find consultants with those consultants, helping them either bundle those solutions together if it's a net new, or bring us in, and obviously give them a little bit more incentive if they're bring us in, and having them being able to give the first win to that end customer who they is already trusted, to allow for you to reduce churn. Because one of the biggest problems is like, yes, I want more deals, right? I want more deals. I want us to close more deals. Great. Now, more often than not, these implementation partners, these consultant partners, they're the type of people who are actually helping them leverage the resources, leverage the actual softwares to help the customer get a certain outcome that they may not be able to based on the native software company. Like let's say Salesforce, for an example, right? Like there's literally people who are Salesforce consultants at like big 4 consulting firms, big 3 consulting firms. Like like they are one of the biggest keys. Like HubSpot is obviously more, I wouldn't say SMB, but they're not like the Salesforce. They follow that same kind of model. Like people hire HubSpot implementation partners to help them utilize HubSpot to the maximum capability. So that's where we find the biggest gap, and that's where you can find your biggest gap. Find who you integrate with, find who that shared customer is, and find those consultants adjacently that work with that integration, and then have them bundle it together if you fit product market fit and all those other things required, right? But you got to find each use case. Customer case studies, right? Competitive positioning, ROI calculators, partner specific metrics, deal flow tracking, commission reporting, activity monitoring. You got to make sure that these are partner specific metrics, right? Obviously, revenue is very important, but like how many sales conversations have they had? How many people have they reached out to? Stuff like that. Deal flow tracking, commission reporting, and making sure they're active. And a little bit of nuance, like if you build too much too fast without knowing what you're doing, like it's going to be a lot harder to scale back the systems if you already implement the partners. But if you have like for reason like we've done this before, so we tend to actually go a little bit faster than usual, and that's just because we've done it multiple times. Like I personally have used systems like these, and if you don't know what good looks like, it's going to be very difficult to replicate on your own. But I do suggest like, hey, listen, it's okay to fail. You're going to mess up. I don't expect you to get this off right the first time. But one of the things you're going to have to realize is that when you scale your partner program, mistakes are going to happen. But what you can do is try to learn from those mistakes and understand that you want to reduce risk as much as possible. So add complexity only when your current system breaks. You don't want to keep on breaking stuff and make it just impossible, like a whole like shit fest. Optimization, at 25 plus partners, you need specialization. So not all partners are the same. They should be managed the same way, right? So, we talk about strategic partners, right? Like if you got like a CDW or an SHI, right? Who are like massive like resellers, right? Like strategic partners who are actually driving revenue. Dedicated partner manager, QBRs, joint go-to-market planning, 50% of total partner revenue, right? And this is assuming like honestly, these tier ones are like people who are like, okay, like you are either you're immense product market fit or you're like, yeah, it's honestly if you're a much part of product market fit, or if you're honestly above like 100 million, right? Like you're past the startup stage, like you're now like roughly like like SMB mid market ish company, right? Like, and that's where you're starting to get validation and stuff like that. Growth partners is where you're seeing a lot more success. Mid market partners with potential, monthly check-ins, group neighborhood sessions, performance improvement plans, 30% of total partner revenue, and then transactional partners, 10 to 15 partners, smaller opportunistic partners, QBRs. Self-service resources, basic trading only, and then 20% of total partner revenue, right? And so the pipeline partners, newer underperforming partners, onboarding focus, basic enablement, 90 evaluation period. Different tiers get different treatment. This doesn't mean it's just supposed to be efficient. Like you don't got infinite time unless you have infinite resources, which I'm jealous of. And if you do, like I would love for you to reach out. And I would love to study your organization just from the outside and just whatnot, because most partner programs I see are very, very either one underdeveloped, and not through the own fault of the partner person. If they have a dedicated partner person, it's through the under resourcing that they have, and that's not the fault of the founder or the head of sales. Is because hey, listen, like we have so many different priorities. We just got to figure out like how we manage our expectations. So we get that. Orchestration at 50 plus, you're running an ecosystem on a program, so you need automation, prediction, and self-service. So you need automated partner matching, deal case characteristic analysis, partner capability matching, automatic assignments, performance optimization. Or like hey, like we want to work with certain partners and we'll bring in certain partners, right? Like you got to make this symbiotic. I literally had a call with a company like literally last week being like, hey, we just want people to refer us. Like, yeah, everyone wants people to refer them. But guess what? Like no company just wants to give away free leads. Like unless they get something back in return, like you got to make this a symbiotic relationship, like a customer, right? Like they don't just expect them. You can't just expect them to give you their money and not get something in return. Like they're trying to get some sort of value in return. So you have to understand what the value exchange is. And for you, it's actually much simpler than a customer, right? Like those customers, a lot of smoke screens are like what they're actually using your solution for and what business outcome you're driving, right? It's not going to be very intangible unless it's revenue based. For the most part, these partner relationships are very, very set, black and white. Like, are we driving more revenue? Are they helping our brand? Are they like? It's very, very more likely to be very apparent what they're looking to get. So, that's why analytics is very, very important. Forecasting, deal probability scoring, the churn risk identification, growth opportunity analysis, and then, self-serve partner portals where training is there, deal registration automation, marketing resource library, performance dashboards, and then customer journey mapping, partner influence scoring, credit allocation rules, revenue recognition. don't build this unless you need it, right? Stage 4 systems are expensive and complex, especially if you use fancy tools, right? You can create like your own budget version, which is fine. Like for some of our clients, we just build like budget versions of these, and they work fine because most of the often you're just trying to get the job done. But if you're a bigger organization, you're going to want to really invest in it. It's better to build it once and not have to worry about it, and then have to build it multiple times, and So the scaling challenges. Every scale stage has predictable problems. Stage one is two problems: partners' confusion about processes, deal conflict increase. Right, we just direct and indirect sales team. Quality control becomes harder. Communication gaps. Stage two, three problems: not all partners perform equally. One size fits all enablement fails. Right, because different type of partners. Manual management becomes impossible. Partner satisfaction drops. Four problems for stage three: information silos across teams. Partner program complexity. Difficulty measuring true impact, competition between internal teams. Build systems where you need them, but not too much before. So how to scale without breaking, right? And measure where you're at right now, right? What are your productivity metrics? If you are tracking, I would really suggest you do track it. Or you might be zero, right? So this, you're really at the bare bottom, which is fine. We all got to start somewhere. You just got to know where you're at. Process documentation level. System capability and assessment, team capacity analysis, and then identify the bottlenecks. Where do deals get stuck, right? What takes the most manual effort? Which partners need the most help? What systems break first under load? Build next stage systems. Focus on the biggest bottleneck first. Build simple, then optimize. Test with small partner group. Then scale gradually, right? It's kind of like again, like a software company. I give away iterating because you got to treat your partners like customers. You don't go full fledged to the masses. You could be, if you're smart, you don't go full fledged to the masses immediately. What you do is you take a subset of beta users because you'd much rather have 100 people that love you than 1,000 people who like okay about you, right? Because then they're really going to be avid about the good feedback and the negative things about it because they want it to work. So same thing with your partner program, right? You take a select few partners, you really work with them, and then you keep on honing in that process. So once you're noticing the repeatable process where we can get their wins, then you can start identifying what kind of partners are those, like what are their characteristics, and how we can find more of those people, recruit them, and have them get their first wins, and just create this funneling machine. Partner migration communication changes early, provide transition support, monitor performance impact, adjust based on feedback. Then validation, right? Compare before after metrics, partner satisfaction surveys, revenue per quarter tracking, system efficiency gains. So I'll be so real, like the reality, you'll probably have to invest your time plus basic tools, maybe part-time coordinator or your head of sales dealing with it. And then once you start getting more advanced, dedicated partner manager, which, basic PRM system, training development, partner team with 2 or 3 people, advanced PRM platform, specialized enablement. And this is assuming as if it's coming from the marketing people. And then a partner operations team, enterprise system integration, advanced analytics platforms. But here's the thing, done right, each stage pays for yourself to increase product productivity, right? These can realistically pay for yourself. And, there's a bit of nuance, right? Like if you, like I mentioned, the biggest successors that we've seen in terms of people who build great partner programs is creating an ecosystem with integration partners and working backwards from there to find those resellers, consultants. If you work with your product team, if you're head of sales, the partner programs are not just marketing and sales. I want to make this very clear. It's not just marketing and sales. It is an entire organizational thing. Your product team has to know about it. Your customer success team has to know about it. Your legal team has to know about it. Everyone has to know about it. And has to be working towards it. So, common mistakes you'll notice is scaling too fast, like I mentioned. Double partner productivity before doubling partner count. Mistake 2, over-engineering early. So build stage 4 systems when you need stage 2. Build for your current state, plus 1 stage ahead if you have the resources and bandwidth to do it. But understand, you're going to break stuff, and that's fine. But just don't break too many things at once. Otherwise, it can be a pain in the ass to clean it up. Neglecting partner experience, focusing on internal efficiency over partner success. Every system change should improve partner experience. Underinvesting in people, try to scale with the technology alone, scale people with capabilities along the systems. And so the readiness checklist is foundation, systemization, 80% of partners are actively referring, 25K plus average quarterly partner revenue, clear partner value proposition, basic processes documented, systemization, optimization, 15 plus active partners, manual processes become bottlenecks, partner big performance variations, team capacity constraints, optimization, orchestration, 40 plus partners across multiple tiers, complex ecosystem, advanced analytics, self-serve demand for partners. Don't skip the stages. Each build on the previous.